and welcome to the nail cave. I promise it's not a weird thing, I just have something to show you. So today's video is about how I painted these custom Katsuki Bakugo press-on nails. A while back I saw this video from Abe the Nail Babe. He is indeed a babe. And in the caption he asked, what does it remind you of? And my first instinct was Bakugo's gauntlet. That video was posted months ago and it has been sitting in my head ever since. I think about this like once a week. So now that I'm back from traveling and I have re-established the nail cave, this was the first set that I did. So today we're going to go through everything from prep to painting. So if you want to see how I did these, then keep watching. Okay, voiceover Ruby here. So we are going to start off with these long coffin nails. This is, in my humble opinion, the most badass of nail shapes, and thus is the most appropriate shape for our angry little edgelord. To prep the nails for painting, I file off any burrs at the top and then buff the entire surface. This ensures a matte finish to make sure that the paint actually sticks. I actually came with a plan this time, given it's not the best plan, featuring designs such as my boy, neck wings, and boomy one, but I know what I mean and that's all that matters here. So I haven't done any nail art in about 6 months, so we're going to start off easy. Starting off on a black base, we're then going to take this orange stamping gel polish. These are crazy opaque and I need that to go over the black base, but they're a bit rough on the surface, so I'm going to go over the top with a self-leveling polish, just to smooth things over and give that real glossy finish. After that I use a dotting tool to add the 2 tiny rivets and finishing off with a glossy top coat. So with my confidence sky high, it was finally time to do the gauntlet nails. And when I tell you that this was an 11-month-long dream come true, I'm sadly not joking. So after putting down a lovely Shrek green base, I used this milky green gel polish for the different sections. It's got quite a high viscosity, so you can get these really raised blobs without having to do multiple layers. And once cured, you get this 3D effect that is so fun to touch. Lastly, for some easy dimension, I used a black jelly polish and put that roughly all over the surface. This pooled in the gaps and just added natural shadow to the recesses. One glossy top coat later and they did not lose any of their tactile appeal. I love me a 3D nail texture. So after spending way too much time doing this, I had 2 more nails under my belt, so I added those back to the sets and picked out my next nail. I figured this design, titled Neck Wings, would be the next safe bet because it's reasonably straightforward. For some design cohesion, I used the same milky green jelly that I used for the gauntlets as my base and started outlining the shape in my black liner gel. I filled in all the space and then cured that till it was fully set. Taking the same orange as before, I then did the orange part of the neck wings. I still haven't figured out what they're called. I like to think they're just a bit of pizzazz to his costume. And if you thought my last liner brush was small, this one here is my prized possession. It's the Brill Bird liner brush in 0, and I used that to do the outline. Lastly, I used the black jelly again to add a little bit of shading around the base, then a glossy top coat, and I added it to the set. Lastly for today, I did the 2 boomy one nails, and what I meant by that was some realistic explosion nails. I wanted to start with a yellow base, but I didn't think that would look very good from behind, seeing as yellow isn't used in any of the other nails. So I went for an orange base first and then layered the yellow on top of that. Afterwards it was just a case of working from light to dark, ultimately ending with some black outlines. This did feel a little strange doing explosions in this way, when I might usually associate them with bright white, but actually I think it turned out quite like the photo, so I'm happy with them overall. One glossy top coat later, I added these 2 back to their sets and then called it a day. Right, we are back on day 2. Here's where things start to intensify a little bit. I found this graphic on Redbubble and I really liked it because he might be dynamite to everybody else, but to me he'll always be King Explosion Murder. Oh, Kat-chan. He doesn't even know it's cute. So I did 2 coats of nude and then a matte top coat, which is how I prefer to start all of my detailed designs. But then...
Hi, baby.
Hello. Do you want dinner? Coming back strong on day 3, I resumed the graphic nail. This one really humbled me in terms of me overthinking that I can make anything small on a nail. But this one was so hard. It was so hard. And it actually took way longer than I thought. I think I spent maybe 2.5 hours on this one. And let's face it, it's mostly covered up by the writing anyway. And that's another thing, I have never done writing this small. The whole thing was a big regret really, and I don't even really like how this nail turned out. This D that I'm painting here is in real time, so you can see how long it took me, but the other ones I've sped up for your viewing sanity. Regardless, it took forever, and I don't think I'll be doing tiny writing on a set anytime soon. Glossy top coat on that one, and then I added it to the set and just stopped for the day. It's day 4 and it's time for portraits. I'm going to start off with this one that I just got side-eye BB because I had this exact image in my head of Bakugo giving that side eye when anyone pisses him off, which is all the time, and it felt too iconic not to do a nail on it. So for the portraits, again, I do a nude base with a matte top coat on top, and then I use this really pale brown to do the outline. It's always just a bit rough and missing most of the detail, but it does help to have a plan. Moving on to the next part, which is colour blocking. I always like to start off with the skin base first, and then fill in the colour blocks in order of background to foreground. Since the gel polishes are a little bit three-dimensional, I do feel that this actually helps in making the final image more realistic. Once I put down the base for my skin tone, I'm moving on to shading around the hairline and the eye. To do this, I just took the same skin tone that I used before and mixed in a small amount of brown to darken it. Next up is hair, and to get that perfect Katsuki ashy blonde colour, it was actually really difficult to mix. I ended up putting a tiny bit of green in it, and I do think that helped distinguish it from the more yellow blondes in the show, like Kaminari. It all started coming together as soon as I got the red out to do his eye, and for a bit of dimension I added some pink on there as well. Last up was his fierce eyebrow, which I took way more care in doing than I do for my own eyebrows. That's it for the colour blocking, so I put a matte top coat on top, tapping the nail a few times to get that really level. Then I took my fine liner brush and used my Brillbird brush and go to do the outlining. And this is where all the features for the character really start to take shape. The colour blocking alone doesn't really look like anything other than iconic colours associated with the character. If you thought my last brush was fine, this is the Brillbird 0, Fine, which I think is the most ridiculous brush I own. It's so thin that it's even hard to pick up enough pigment to draw a smooth line with, but it's really useful for these tiny details. Then I added this nail back to the set and gave my pincer grip a much needed rest. We are back for one final nail. Okay, same as before, nude, matte, brown outline, ready to colour block. And I will say the resemblance to my original drawing is uncanny. If you're wondering why I call it the nail cave, it's because there's absolutely zero natural light in there, which really works in my favour. Gel polishes cure under UV light, and no sunlight means no UV. And that means for the skin and the hair, I could just use the colours that I mixed up for the previous nail, and even if I leave them for a good few days, they're still pretty usable. And then I get some consistency, because God knows I never keep track of how I mix my colours, even with actual footage to rely on. So with the colour blocking done, I did my matte top coat again, and then just like before, using my Brillbird 0 and 0 Fine, I confidently stormed through all of the outlines. I'm actually so scared. First fucking try. I'm keeping it. Yep, I'm setting it. And with that, our final nail is done. This portrait really suffers from the convex nature of nails. The curved surface makes it really difficult to perceive if the proportions are correct, and I think next time I do a portrait I'll take this into account. But with that, it was time to box them up and admire the beauty that is the Katsuki Bakugo custom press-on nail set. So there you have it. 4 days and far too many hours, but I'm actually really happy with these ones, and they were a lot of fun to do. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like, and if there's any other characters that you want to see me do, drop them down below in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, come on, join us. There's loads of room in the nail cave, where you won't miss any ultra-specific nail art designs based on things that I love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.